Well, traders, good afternoon. Happy Wednesday to you all. I hope that everybody's doing great. Hopefully nobody got trapped in this nasty sell-off that we're seeing in the Qs. I'm not sure what the SPY is doing. I haven't looked at it in a moment. Just got my eyes on the prize, the NQ. Good afternoon. Hope you guys are well. My name is Jason Krutzky. It is a pleasure to be with you guys this afternoon for none other than the big dog, Tesla. We got earnings. We got a lot to talk about today. I've got quite a few things to share with you. I'm not going to share them all right now, though. But I spent the early part of my morning developing some strategies. I know that lots of people are talking about, and I know we're going to talk about Tesla right now soon. But also, you know, we got to keep our eyes on the prize of what's happening, what's popping off out there in the markets. I know lots of people are talking about snow, and I got a couple of interesting strategies that I built throughout the morning this morning for snow. What's up, Billy? Hope you're doing good, my friend. There are a few of you guys here. If you're here, say hello. I always get to speak to about a quarter of the people that are actually watching. So if you are tuned in right now and you do not say hello, well, you're going to make me really sad. So yeah, if you're interested in digging into some pretty interesting strategies that I put together for snow, I'm going to take a look at those just after the bell, after Tesla does its thing, after it has its reaction. It's kind of two ideas. There's a short idea and a long idea. So I'm going to give you both. What's up, Fetty? What's up? Why not? How are you guys today? Hope you're doing good. So, you know, yesterday we were live for Netflix earnings, and obviously Netflix was a banger. What's up, Chris? Goda? How are we doing today, sir? Hopefully you're well. Netflix was a banger, and we kind of suspected that that might be the case, right? Everything was kind of aligned. Outside of, we saw a little bit of divergence there on the daily. Remember, we were talking about MACD. We were talking about RSI. We saw both of them. They were both kind of coming to a head, tightening. Price was making higher highs. RSI and MACD were making lower highs. So there was a little bit of negative divergence there. But everything was in line for Netflix. They had, we can even look at it. Let's look at it really quick for just kind of like a little wrap up. We talked about so many things. But one of the biggest things was seasonality, right? Seasonality was primed and ready to go for Netflix. 73% win rate in the month of January, historically since 2002. And then you add that mean change on average, right? A mean change of 15.89% in January's. Well, we're pretty much getting that move now, right? Where as much as 15.5, you know, we talked about this just yesterday because we weren't trading too far off of the previous month's close. We were maybe up maybe like a 0.5% or something. And so Netflix is doing exactly what it tends to do in January. So that's why we kind of felt like, hey, these earnings, it's got a pretty decent chance of these earnings actually being pretty good and the stock reacting in a favorable way. That's exactly what we got. We kind of talked about this fib, right? We talked about the fib from the all-time high. We said that the 0.786 retrace might be the next logical place to find some resistance. It lined up with our shoulder over here where they broke structure for all of those ICT traders. It kind of lined up. It was just perfect. So Netflix did exactly what we kind of thought it might do. Tesla, though, things don't look quite as good for Tesla. Does that mean that it can't have a great earnings report today? No. It absolutely can, and things could totally turn around. But it's got a little bit of headwind right now. So I've got a volume by price. It's anchored to the COVID low Obviously, COVID lows are pretty pivotal low. We like to anchor all these anchorable tools from pivotal places on the chart, whether it be important highs, important lows. So my first thought was anchoring from the COVID low. You've got a very clear loss of the point of control from the COVID low this month, right? We're looking at the monthly chart, and we'll zoom in to time frames here. They're holding higher lows for now, and they're trying to find support at the anchored VWAP from the COVID low. But then something kind of occurred to me. You know, obviously Tesla has gained dramatically over the years. And whenever you have a stock that gains dramatically, sometimes it makes sense to put it into log scale, right? Because now we're looking at the move in percentage terms as opposed to absolute terms. And then you start thinking about like, well, the COVID low isn't actually like the big primo ultra low that maybe we should be paying attention to. Maybe we should be paying more attention to this June of 2019 low, because that is like the low. It's the big low that brought us all the way up. And if you're looking at that low, you got a VWAP here at 175. So that is a potential level of interest for us if this thing does continue to correct. I was reading today, and I was told in my readings that there is about a 6% implied move. Now that could have adjusted a little bit over the course of today. This was a statistic that I read earlier this morning. So like I say, that could change. 6% implied move from right now. Let's just kind of take a look and see where that is. It's really not even that big of a move. I'm going to even have to, let me do this. Let me get out a log scale. So you got a 6% implied move would take you down to 195. Not too catastrophic. A 6% implied move higher takes you up to what, about 220? So that's kind of your implied move range, 220 to 180 or something like that. Is that what I just said? I already forgot. Let's do this one more time. 6%, 195. Okay, so like 195, 220. These are the implied moves. I want to really quickly talk about a bit more on the technical side. This weekly time frame here. You've got your anchored VWAP from the January 2023 low. So this is about a year's worth of data. Again, same deal. Price trying desperately to hold on to that spot and just really struggling. If we go down to the daily, the thing that kind of was catching my eye, and I think probably catching many traders' eyes. Let me pull this off real quick. Let me add RSI here. This is kind of what we discussed yesterday. Was this idea of RSI getting into oversold territory. We are clearly there now, right? And we've clearly been there multiple times over the past year. I'm just highlighting all the spots just so we have a decent frame of reference. We can see it clearly. So here are the past 4 times that RSI has been in these levels. And what do we got? There's a low. We got another one. You guys see where I'm going with this, of course. I'm just going to keep on keeping on over here. You see where I'm going with this? Bulls are pointing to this. Past 4 times that we have come into this deep oversold spot on RSI, on Tesla, it is marked, if not the bottom, darn close to the bottom. So perhaps that's what we're seeing here. Perhaps they're going to hold this low from back in October, and we'll get a nice little reaction to the upside. It's hard to say that we will. I don't know that we will, but perhaps they will give us that. If we look, throwing up other data here, the past 3 earnings reports have been pretty darn lousy, or the response, the reaction to the past 3 earning reports have been pretty darn lousy. This one, back in the fall, you had a 26% move before you found a bottom and reversed. This one back in the summer, 29% move before you found a bottom and reversed. This one back in the springtime of last year, you had a 19% downside move before it finally reversed and found a bottom. And actually, if we zoom out a little bit, let's see, the reaction was poor off this one too. So, you know, the past 4 earnings reports from Tesla, the stocks reacted in a negative way. What does that mean for how it's going to react today? Well, it doesn't mean anything, right? It's just a piece of information. There are also traders pointing to the potential of this kind of chart pattern setup. People calling this a nice inverted head and shoulders. And you could argue that it is, for sure. It very well might be. We will have to wait and see. I'm curious to know what you guys think. You know, there's a bunch of you guys here now. Again, if you are just tuning in for the first time, this is TrendSpider Office Hours. This is your chance to get questions answered about the TrendSpider platform. If you are sitting on the sidelines, you're not yet a TrendSpider trader, but you're considering subscribing and getting on board, you know, this is your chance to ask me questions and find out things about the platform that you're curious about live and direct for you. If you're kind of shy and you don't feel like asking questions to me, you can always reach out to our support team. We have a live support team every single day, Monday through Sunday. They are here in chat answering questions. You do not have to be a subscriber to TrendSpider to access those guys and ask them questions. You're welcome to reach out to them via this contact us button. If you're a TrendSpider trader, it's going to be on your charts here down in the bottom right-hand corner. If you're not yet a TrendSpider trader, well then just go to our website and you will see a little chat button down here in the bottom. Let me go grab our website really quick so I can show you guys that. We are very, very keen to answer any questions that you might have. So feel free to reach out to us. These guys are actual real people. And they're here to help. That's Matt, that's Dan, that's James. Dan, this is our CEO. He even hangs out in chat and answers questions. So, you know, feel free to reach out if ever you're curious about anything, and we'll be happy to help you. I'm gonna open up, because I'm kind of curious to see, actually, let me show you guys this. So this tool right here, top right-hand corner, this is called the Assistant. The Assistant is an AI assistant for you to help you navigate around TrendSpider. There are tons of tools on TrendSpider, and sometimes, especially if you're new to the platform, it can be difficult to know where things are, how to do things. I always recommend, if you're new to the platform, take advantage of the Assistant. The Assistant is here to help you. It is exactly what it is titled. It is exactly what it says it is. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to type in Tesla unusual options. And what this is going to bring up for me, it's going to bring up a list of all of Tesla's unusual options. I have a ton of stuff here, so let me remove. Oh, darn it. Here we go. Okay. So this is a real-time, up-to-date list of all of the unusual options that are coming into Tesla right now. If you're not familiar with what unusual options are, they are different. What's up, James? What's up, Dwayne? All right, so there you guys, y'all. Dwayne and James are both members of our support team. So if anybody has any questions, they are here to help with that. But what we're doing here, what we're looking at for folks who are not familiar with unusual options are any options orders that are larger than $25,000. So this isn't, you know, mom and pop buying 1 or 2 contracts here and there. This is your Nancy Pelosi's spending millions of dollars on, you know, whatever option they might be interested in. And this can be, this obviously is a huge amount of information, and it might look a little, I don't know, difficult to understand to some of you. But the big thing here is it's really kind of just breaking down everything about all of these different orders that are coming in. And we can filter this. So, you know, this is alpha in and of itself, but we can kind of make it even more alpha centric by filtering. So one thing that I like to do whenever I'm filtering unusual options, I like to look for high premiums. I want to see the biggest orders. And you can call that any number you want. I'm going to start at $100,000. I don't want to see anything below $100,000. You can make this $1 million. You can make it $250,000, $500,000, whatever you want. But I want to filter out some of these kind of lower, not that, you know, $20, $30, $50,000 is low conviction, but, you know, when you compare it to several $1 million, then yes, it is. The next thing I'm going to do here, I'm going to go to tags. I'm going to say all of, and I'm going to say sweeps above ask. So why am I doing this? If you've tuned in before, you know why I'm doing this. If you haven't tuned in before, the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to see sweeps, because this is people who are just getting it from wherever they can get it, right? Whatever exchange is offering it, they're buying it across exchanges. The second thing is, if they're paying above the ask, they just want to get in. They don't care what the price is, right? So if they're like sweeping around looking for anywhere that'll sell it to them and they're willing to pay up for it, that to me is information. So we're going to say apply there. And, you know, there is a decent chance that nothing has happened today that meets this criteria. But every once in a while, you're going to have things that absolutely do meet this criteria. So today we have 3 orders that meet this criteria. And this one is actually particularly interesting. This is a $1.5 million trade with 1 day to expiry. Who knows if this person is still in this trade anymore? It's possible that they might not still be in this trade anymore. It looks like it happened about, I don't know, 4.5 hours ago or something like that. It happened a little while ago. So it is possible that they're no longer in this trade. But it's a pretty darn big size trade. I'm almost curious to know. I'm just gonna go down to a small time frame here. Yeah, so wow, dang, they probably cleaned up, because this, if they're still in this, they bought this at 210, right? 209.95. This thing's trading 207.95. If they did buy this, holy moly, I bet they cleaned up. It would be really cool to know if they were still in this. I'm curious. But, you know, when you see these big conviction trades like this, you know, it can be a little bit of a signal of like, hey, maybe I need to be thinking about taking this position, or maybe not taking this position, right? That's the whole idea here. We're trying to gain alpha. We're trying to get an understanding of what big money is doing. We are just small little fish swimming around here with our 1 and 2 and 10 contract orders. These guys are spending big bucks. And I want to be on their side of the trade. I don't want to be trading against them. I want to be trading with them. And that's what this is all about. So we know that today, all of the sweeps that came in above the ask, above our premium limitations, they were all bearish sweeps, put sweeps. So that could tell us something, right? Hopefully that made some sense. Hopefully you guys learned a little something. I'm going to check in on chat real quick. Michael Niles, fantastic platform, getting more into creating strategies. Nice, right on. Well, Michael, if you stick around to after Tesla's earnings report, pending they don't, you know, announce really late, which who knows what time exactly they're going to announce. But if pending they don't announce really late, I'm going to spend a little bit of time and have you check out I've got 2 new strategies to share with you. I'm going to give you guys the little sneak peek. One of them is going to go out in our weekend mailer this week. So if you're not yet signed up for the TrendSpider mailing list, I cannot recommend this enough. We are, you know, kind of consistently revamping it and trying to give you guys as much alpha as we can give you. That is the big goal with the TrendSpider mailing list. So if you're not signed up to it, I really recommend it. One of these strategies is going to go out in that mailing list this weekend. And I'm going to show you guys kind of how I was building it, or how I built it, what I was thinking about when I was building it, and just give you guys a little bit of alpha there. Billy, should you stay or should you sell? If you stay, it might be trouble. If I'm selling, it might be double. Exactly. Why not? That's right. You get full off their crumbs. Exactly. The point is, don't push against the tide, right? Like, go where the money's going. So I don't know. What are you guys thinking about this Tesla earnings report? Are you feeling good about it? Are you feeling bad about it? Do you feel like it's going to be a good one? Do you feel like it's going to be a bad one? There wasn't really much information on the insider side. Like, we haven't really seen any real major insider selling over the past month. Nothing really there. On the analyst side, not really seeing a whole heck of a lot recently. We have a couple of buy reiterations from Wedbush over the past couple of weeks. Barclays said hold. Oppenheimer said hold. These are the only 4 that have come in. Now we'll get a bunch tomorrow for sure. There'll be a bunch of new ones come in. I'm not a fundamentals guy, so I'm not really, super knowledgeable about what to expect from their deliveries and, what people are saying about the Cybertruck. Like, I just don't know. I know Elon was getting fussy, right? He's been getting fussy recently about not being a 25% shareholder or not having 25% voting right. So he's talking about not wanting to bring a ton of new ideas to Tesla, a ton of new business stuff to Tesla. Why develop it in Tesla when he doesn't have the voting share, when he could develop it elsewhere where he has voting share? Don't really know what that was all about. Tesla or, Elon is always trying to like push the buttons and cause a reaction. Dwayne. Right, exactly. Why not? Dwayne, is there any chart pattern that supports a breakout? What do you mean? Talk to me a little bit about where your head's at there. In my opinion, what supports breakouts is price action, right? Like if you are in strong uptrends, then your bullish, your what are historically bullish patterns, your flags, your whatever, those things are gonna have a better tendency to move in the same direction as the trend. Right? When you're in strong downtrends and you get bullish looking patterns, oftentimes what you get is a failure of that pattern. You get false breakouts. So I would say what supports a breakout is going to be, or what supports a pattern breakout is going to be whatever's under the hood with price action. Where's price coming from? What's it been up to? You got trapped in Tesla after September earnings. You sit this one out. Chris, and that's really kind of the smart thing to do, right? Like, especially if you don't have a really strong conviction feel about anything, it's very, very difficult to take a side. Why would you trade except for just to kind of gamble on it? Is Elon going to be on the call? That's a great question. I really don't know. Let me see here. I'm going to actually see if you guys want to. I can check and see if anybody's streaming the call. Okay, so the earnings call is at 5:30 Eastern. So what I'll do is when the call goes live, if I'm still live, mind you, I might get off of this before that call happens. There is that chance. I don't know. If we're vibing and it's cool, then I'll stick with it and we can listen to it. If I can find it on the internet, which I should be able to find it. Somebody will stream it. But I don't know if he's going to be on the call. Let's check the internet. All right, so I'm just kind of reading up here. Tesla reports fourth quarter earnings today, of course. Wall Street is looking for earnings per share of about 73 cents from sales of 25.6 billion. A year ago, Tesla reported per share earnings of 119 from 24.3 billion. So made less, earned more. Now they're expecting them to earn more and make less. Interesting. Dwayne, what do you mean market structure to the downside? What you mean, my friend? After investors digest the report, they will wait for what Tesla management, including CEO Elon Musk, has to say on the company's 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time conference call. So there you go. Elon, he's going to be on it. What's up, Luke? How you doing? Hope you're well. What brings you here today? We've got just a few minutes before the bell. Presumably, they're going to announce if their call is half an hour from now. Oh, no, their call's not half an hour from now. Well, 5:30 Eastern? Yeah. Yeah, half an hour. Dwayne, we need to find an example. We need to find an example to like talk about a specific thing. Key will be management's outlook for 2024 sales. Wall Street is looking for 2.1 million to 2.2 million units delivered, up from 1.8 million sold in 2023. So it's apparently, I guess it's all about margins and pricing. It will take a lot for Tesla to turn investor sentiment around when it reports fourth quarter earnings on Wednesday evening. There's a narrow path to a higher stock price. A higher profit margin would be the first key step. Just seeing if there's anything in here that's like really interesting. $5:30 Eastern. I thought Eastern was 3 hours difference. Maybe it is just two. Oh, yeah, it is 2 hours difference. Yeah, you're right. Chris, you know, I live in Colorado. And sometimes I get like confused about these things. I don't know why. Okay, so yeah, I will not be live. I will not be live at 5:30 Eastern. So you will have to find that earnings call somewhere else. But he is going to be on it per the news that I'm reading. So we'll see. We'll see what they do here. We got 2 minutes left. Anybody want to throw down some predictions? Let's do predictions on where Tesla opens tomorrow. Hit me with what you got. Give me a price. Where does Tesla open tomorrow? I'm going to look at the chart real quick and see what I think. Ooh, that'd be a big move. I'm going to go, personally, I'm going to go new lows. I'm going to go 182. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to put it in there. 182. Fetty, you say 192? Let's do this. Who else wants in? Hit me with your predictions. You got to get them in quick, though. Because we've not got much time. I'm going to drop down to the 1 minute here. Who else wants in? Chris Goda says 186. Luke, you've been following for years? Nice. Top tier. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that very, very much. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. Anybody who's not yet subscribed to the TrendSpider YouTube channel, do feel free to do that. Hit me with some subscribes. Hit me with some, ooh, hold on. Anybody else went on this? Chewy, what's up, Chewy? Chewy says 194 tomorrow. Remember, this is the opening price. Tesla's opening price tomorrow. This is for all the glory. Maybe I can find a way to hook the closest person up with like a month of TrendSpider. I might be able to do that. I could probably do that. Get your guesses in. If you're not yet a TrendSpider subscriber, do I watch IBM? What's up, DSP? How are you? I don't personally watch IBM, but we certainly could take a look at it once Tesla earnings reports come out. Luke says 218 YOLO. All right. We only got 5 guesses here. James says 205. Bob, no, you got to give me a flat number. DSP says 195. Oh, no, why not? Sorry. No, DSP says 195 too. Okay, why not? This is 196. Yeah, see, all right. So James has marked it. James has given the green light. Bob Evans, you want to get a single number in? I can't say 210 plus. You got to, is it 210? I'm going to put you down as 210. The only rule here is whoever wins, if you win and you do not yet have a TrendSpider account, you got to come up, you got to like hit me up and let me know. I'll post it tomorrow on my Twitter at Krutzky Trades. I'm going to post the winner tomorrow morning when the market opens. Whoever the winner is, if you do not yet have a TrendSpider account, we'll hook you up with 1 month for free. But you got to hit me up because I'm not getting your emails right now. I should have brought a form. That's what I should have done. Oh, nice. Chris Goda, right on. You're a listener of the Daily Stock Picks pod, right on. All right, here comes the move. Looks like I'm not going to win. Oh, maybe I will win. G-Sal, I'm going to let you squeak in there. I'm going to let you squeak in there. But now the voting is over. These are the guesses for tomorrow. All right, Rocky Jabs, I'll let you in there too. That's it, though. That's it. That's it. We're cutting it off. At Krutzky Trades is my Twitter. I will post tomorrow the winner on my Twitter account when the market opens. We'll post the winner. Oh, light. Let me get you in there too. 220. Just want to make sure I got everybody. Because we're cutting it off at Rock Jabs. I think I got everybody. Okay. We're good to go. All right, so let me check in and see here what the haps is. Tesla Q4 adjusted EPS 71 cents, misses the 74-cent estimate. Sales 25.17 billion, misses 25. Misses the expectation, 25.62 billion. That's a double miss, y'all. It's a double miss. Hey, White Rabbits, hello. Hope you're well. Ruz, how's it going? Pretty nasty little sell-off. Nothing crazy, though. Remember, 6% implied move. Basically, almost there now. My guess is big shot callers who were looking for a big move upside or downside. Probably going to get wiped. That'd be my guess. Rez, I'm sorry. I can't. It's too late. James, I think he absolutely is going to keep jockeying for that. It is kind of crazy, right? Because he just sold. He had it, and he's just sold. He sold all of his. He sold a bunch of shares. Not betting for lifetime subscription, Ruz. 1 month. What would you put in its place, Luke? If you remove Tesla from the Mag 7, what do you put in its place? But Ruz, subscribe to the channel. We do these things as often as we could do them. I try and have a little fun on earnings dates like this. So there'll be another chance. But yeah, what would you put in its place, Luke? You put, Daily would put SMCI, huh? I was watching something. There's an account that I follow called QuiverQuant. I don't know if you guys have ever seen QuiverQuant on Instagram, on social. But there was an interesting video that they posted maybe, I don't know, a week ago, a couple days ago, I can't remember, about Taiwan Semiconductor. And it was an interview with Warren Buffett. It was an interview with Warren Buffett about his feelings on Taiwan Semiconductor, and it was pretty interesting. Recommend giving that a once over. Luke, you'd go AMD to replace Tesla, huh? It is, isn't it? Well, this is just a 1 minute chart. It's going to be potentially a long night for Tesla bulls. You really need Elon to come in there and turn things around, right? The question is, what's he going to say? Because we all know how this goes. Happens on every major company's earnings reports, right? It always happens. Every time you get your move and then you get the call. And the move is one thing. The call has the potential to be something totally different. I have no idea, man. Tesla is wildly overvalued compared to the rest of the names. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what I'd put in there. What else in there right now? It's what? Nvidia, Tesla, Facebook, Google. Nvidia, Tesla, Facebook, Google, Amazon. What else? What are the other two that I'm spacing on right now? You guys tell me. I could just Google it too. Yeah, so Daily, you bring up an interesting point. You bring up a very interesting point. If he does something like that, 30K Tesla, forget about it. The question is, why didn't he do that instead of the Cybertruck? That seems more NVIDIA, Meta, Google, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon. Yeah, that sounds right. What is this? That's not spam. NVIDIA, Meta, Google, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Tesla. What would I replace it with? Shoot. Honestly, don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, Dan did Dan did order a Cybertruck. I'm very anxious to see pictures of him in it. You would put Uber in there. Interesting. Bitcoin ETF into the Mag 7. I don't know if it works like that. Bitcoin's kind of more like, it's just a store of value. It's not a company. It's gonna James, that's an interesting thought. What is that? McKinson? All right, so how are we feeling? Do we want to continue watching Tesla here, or do we want to talk some interesting strategies? What do you guys want? We can keep just chilling watching Tesla. Yo, Gary, art list. This is what you need. Artlist.io. It's very affordable, and they've got pretty decent music. I find myself, I'm a longtime musician. I feel like I have a pretty decent taste in music. I find myself, these songs get stuck in my head. It's actually kind of crazy. Can I do a Mag 7 chart? Yeah, of course. Strategies. All right. The crowd is spoken, and they want strategies. All right, dope. Let's do this then. All right, we've got the guys in. We know where everybody's out. Right now, James, you're in the lead, but you don't get to win anything if you win. So if James wins or if I win, obviously we can't win. So we're gonna take the closest person. Yeah, we do. We have a bunch of combo. I believe that the combination, let me see something real quick. Composite charts. Let me see. Make sure I can do this. Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon, Tesla, Meta. And what was the seventh one? NVIDIA, right. 7 might be, no, it is. There you go. Yeah, so for the composite charts, this is how you want to put this together. Equals, and then in parentheses, Meta, Apple, Google, Amazon, Tesla, Meta. Oh, sorry. Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon, Tesla, Meta, NVIDIA divided by 7. So 7 might be the max. Yo, we're gonna get your learn on right now. All right, so I spend a lot of time during the day listening to traders, on Spaces, talking shop. And I have been hearing so many people talking about Snowflake, and you know, for good reason, right? This thing is breaking out of a, what? May 2022 was in the space, kind of, we hit lows. So this thing has been in a base for like a year and a half, more than that, 19 months. So yeah, about a year and a half. You could do that, White Rabbits. And we can talk about it, but I'm going to talk about this first. So anyway, so this got me thinking, for anybody who's not familiar, again, remember, I'm going to give you two ideas here. For anybody who is not yet familiar with Weinstein stage analysis, just going to give you guys a link so that you can do your own learning on the side. I think this is a very valuable concept. If any of you guys follow IBD traders, we're talking about folks like Oliver Kell and that whole school of thought. Those guys are big Weinstein fans. They call it something a little bit different, but what it is Weinstein stage analysis. Let me see. Make sure we have something on it. I thought we did. And my music is dead too. Start that up. Darn. All right. Well then. I'm going to share this. Here is the stage analysis website. And the reason why this is a really interesting concept is because it can help you identify stocks that are doing exactly what Snowflake is doing right now, which is potentially coming off of a bottom, right? You see these big bottom bases, and then they start pushing out of the base, and that move out of the base is what traders are looking for. They're looking for the move out of the base. What's up, Zach? Zek, greetings and salutations to you, sir. And so the first idea that I had today was I want to build something related to Weinstein stage analysis. If you go in your market scanner and type in, I believe, yeah, should be here. Well, maybe, you know what? Maybe these aren't in the platform. Actually, well, anyway. Because it's coming out of this base, right? Weinstein stage analysis has 4 stages. You have the stage 1 where you're kind of basing. You have stage 2, which is kind of the ramp phase. You have stage 3 where things are kind of starting to the rounded top phase. And then you have stage 4, which is the opposite of stage 2. So it's just, you know, basic curve line. You've seen it a zillion times. So my first thought on old Snow here was a stage 1 breakout style trade. And in this trade, essentially all I'm doing is I'm taking the idea of stage analysis, but I'm utilizing kind of a fractal, right? I am putting it on the 1 hour time frame. Weinstein stage analysis, generally speaking, is a weekly concept. But I believe that markets are fractal, and so therefore I am utilizing a smaller time frame. Let me grab the SMA and I'll show you kind of what it's doing. So 150 SMA, all this strategy does, it's actually so stupidly simple. And this is what you're going to find when you start building strategies of your own. Try and keep it simple because generally simple things work better than complex things. So the first condition here, it just says price closed 1 candle ago within range of the 150 SMA. And it specifically defines that range as 0.5%, right? So we're very, very close to the 150 SMA, but that doesn't define where price is relative to the SMA. Is it above it or is it below it? So the second condition that we defined is that price close greater than the 150. So 1 candle ago, it was within range of, and then on the current candle, it is greater than. That's it. That's the entry. The exit. It's pretty simple too. 3 consecutive closes below the 150 SMA or a trail stop. The trail stop does 2 things. In Weinstein stage analysis and in stocks in general, as we all know, prices do not just go straight up and then go straight down, right? They go up, they pull back, they go up, they pull back, they go up, they pull back, they go up, they pull back. And so what we hope to accomplish here with this idea is we want to only get out of this trade if price breaks below that SMA and stays below that SMA for a couple of candles. Because if it stays below that SMA for a couple of candles, then we want to be risk off. We could always get back in, right? We'll always get back in when price regains. Or we want to use a trail stop so that if price does go in our favor on this long bias trade, we're protecting ourselves on the way up. We know that price has a tendency to retrace at some point. It'll extend and it'll come back. We want to lock some of those gains, and we want to maybe then re-enter when we're back to our entry conditions, when prices come back into that 150. In Weinstein stage analysis, what it's really looking for is you see the move, right? You see the move of price over the 150, and then the 150 starts to slope up, and as the 150 slopes up, price does like this and bounces, continues to make higher highs and higher lows and bounces off the 150. So that's the idea here. Now when we test this, darn it, it works good. 215% return over the past 3.5 years on snow versus a negative 16% return if you bought and held it over that same period of time. I'm not going to get too much in the weeds about why I like this so much. I mean, obviously, that return is pretty sweet relative to if you bought and held. Now, we all know where snow came from and what it became, and now what it's trying to do, right? We were all following snow back in 2020 and so on. But this is a clean strategy in that there is what we call no-go highlighting. No-go highlighting means is the platform's way of really letting you know, hey, this strategy is not safe to run. And you'll see it. You see it very clearly. I'm just going to run the strategy really quickly on a different name. I'm going to be hunting for some no-go highlighting. All right, so it works okay on Apple too. Interesting. Let's find some no-go highlighting. There's some right here. So this red highlight here lets me know that this strategy is not safe to run on this name. I need to do something about it. I need to change the strategy. I need to change the time frame. I need to not trade it on this name. So the fact that there's no-go highlighting is a really clear sign for me that, hey, this strategy actually has some durability. Max drawdown's really nice. You know, I like to keep that max drawdown no more than 20%. Anything more than that on a strategy that you're letting run on its own is a little scary, in my opinion. This is just a really safe strategy to run. So what I'm going to do, for those of you who are here and want to play around with it, want to experiment with it, want to just load it in and look at it, here you go. Ask and you shall receive. There's the strategy for you guys who are TrendSpider traders. You can feel free to load that. If you are a TrendSpider trader, one of the greatest things about TrendSpider is you can share this sort of stuff. So if I build something that's super dope, I can give it to you. You can load it up on your platform. You could turn this into a trading bot if you wanted to very easily. You could just try it on a bunch of different names. You can learn about how I put it together just by looking at it. And hopefully that was a pretty decent explanation. The second idea, and this is a kind of a counter trend idea. Counter trend in the sense that a lot of people seem to be getting really bowled up about snow. And so that got me thinking, well, technically speaking, if we zoom out, what do we see? We see range, right? For essentially what, a year and a half, almost 2 years. We see a range, and it's a relatively wide range, 114 low, 202 upside. So a $100 range that we are just kind of stuck in. And when you're range trading, right, you're selling highs, you're buying lows, you're betting on those ranges staying as they are. And being that we're at the very top of this 17-month range today, right? We made a new high relative to those August 2022 highs. It's the first new high we've made relative to that high since then. So you're talking like well over a year that we finally made a new high, and they make a new high and they sold it off. Now, does that mean that it's not going to continue higher? No, that's not what I'm saying. But this idea is meant to express the idea that perhaps this range that we've been stuck in continues to stick around. It's betting on, or it bets on that idea. It tests that idea, the historical relevance of that idea. So what I've done in this particular case, I've simply said that whenever price, and I'm using a 30-minute time frame here, I've said that whenever price closes greater than the 50 candle range high, and I've offset this by one candle so as not to include the current price in this calculation. You have to do that whenever you're utilizing range. You can offset it different ways. You can offset it like this, and offset here, and then this could be 0. Or you can offset it 0 offset. Or you can offset it here. Doesn't matter. Do whatever you want. I am just used to doing it this way. So whenever price on the 30-minute time frame closes greater than the 50 candle range high, the last 50 candles, I'm taking a short. And I'm covering that short, this is my exit, whenever price closes within range of the 50 candle range low. And I'm not looking necessarily for a full-on test of that low range, or that range low. I'm looking for price to close within 2% of that range low. And this works surprisingly well also. Check this out. 53 position, 62% win rate. Risk to reward is not that good, 1.25. I'm a 2.5 to 3 R guy personally, but you know, different strokes, different folks. And ultimately, what this thing has done over the past 2 years is crush, buy, and hold. So I'm sharing both of these things with you because they're two concepts that work quite well, that are totally in opposition to one another, right? Because the first one that we went over kind of identifies like breakouts in essence, and tries to trade that trend, tries to stay in that trend of the breakout as long as possible. Whereas this one fades them, and they both work. And it makes sense why they both work, because this one's looking back the past 2 years, which has been rangy and choppy. And the other one, it makes sense that the other one works because it's quick to cut, right? Like we're utilizing an important moving average. When price is above that moving average, and that moving average is moving in our direction, things tend to go fairly well. We have safety measures in place. So you can kind of think of these two strategies as when this one stops working, and it may take some trades for you to come to the conclusion that this one has stopped working. You might then start thinking about implementing the other one. Now, obviously the other one does perform better than this one. So maybe you just want to implement the other one. I don't know. But I share those with you because, well, this is what I was doing today. So I wanted to share it. It's pretty cool alpha. It's a pretty cool way of thinking about the same ticker in a couple of different ways. Will snow break out from here and extend higher like some folks are saying it's going to? Or will it remain in the trend that it's been stuck in for the past 18 months, which is sideways? I don't know. I don't know which it's going to do, but now you have two strategies that you can utilize that work for both of those scenarios, right? So I'm going to share this one with you guys too, so you can have it. I think it's important that you have both. Don't tell anybody that I've shared these with you. These are my little secret to you. My gift to you for hanging out with me today. I do really appreciate it always. All right, so we got a couple of questions. Let me see here. Lamar, in a bit, can you give me your opinion on prop accounts? Lamar, prop accounts. First off, gambling with other people's money feels better than gambling with your own, right? That's my first opinion. My second opinion is, depending on the account that you have, well, actually, no, not depending on the account you have. No matter what you're doing, those are designed for you to fail, right? Know that going in. So the first opinion I have is make sure you deeply understand all of the rules and regulations around what you can trade, when you can trade it, how much size you can take, and these sorts of things. Most of the time, I believe the tools that they give you to trade with don't apply the rules that are defined by the product or service that you're subscribed to, right? So that is lesson number one. Do not, like, the first thing you should do is read what all of the rules are behind the account. And I know that sounds like a no-brainer thing, but they actually make it quite difficult. They don't really break down the rules very well. They make you really go search for them. And I think that's by design. I think they want you to fail. The second piece, there are some that offer, every month they offer you a free reset. And there are some that don't. I'm not going to get into the ones that do and the ones that don't. For the ones that do, though, if you're struggling and you're just learning, what I would recommend is a hard stop every single day that is divided by the amount of days that you have in between each reset. This is something that I've thought about before. So let's say, for example, you can draw down $2,000 on your funded account. Well, $2,000 divided by 20, which is approximately how many trading days you're going to get until your next reset, is $100 a day. So if you draw down only $100 a day, then you're always going to get to that free reset. You're never going to have to pay the failure fee. The failure fee is almost always more than your monthly fee. Why would they want you to fail? Because it's not about funding you. It's about getting your money. Nah, man. The percentage of people that actually make it as funded traders, no. Their business model, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, I could be totally wrong. I think the business model is the monthly subscription fees, not this guy made $20,000 this month. So yeah, all right. So Gary says Daniel Inskeep has a great series on prop accounts. There you go. You might want to take a look at that. But what I was getting to, Lamar, is the bullet system. And this is something that I even apply. Define how much you're willing to lose every single day. And if you hit that, you need to stop for the day so that you can live to trade another day. All in all, I think funded trader accounts are awesome. I think they're really, really awesome. Because again, like I said, if you're just learning, if you're figuring out the ropes, trying to try out new strategies, who wants to do that with their own money? Who wants to do that with their own money? Not me. I would much rather try it. I'd much rather try it on a funded account, personally. So I say go for it, but you have to treat that thing like it is your money. You can't YOLO 20 minis just willy-nilly. You gotta think through things. But that's a whole other conversation. We can have that conversation another day. Yeah, and so, right, Gary, paper trade. Yes. However, many traders have difficulty feeling the same sort of feelings that they get when they have real money on the trade. So what I would encourage you to do, Lamar, is try and get to the point where every single trade you take in a paper trading account really feels like your money. Really feels like you're putting on real risk. It's really important. But a lot of traders that I talk to can't. Paper trading, they treat paper trading one way, they treat their regular trading a totally different way, and they can't find the balance, the middle ground between the two. Recommended strategy that works on SPY or other ticker. Dude, there is not a single strategy that works on anything for like forever. They're anybody who is utilizing strategies, especially when it's like things like bots, and they're letting strategies kind of do their thing. They are inputting and outputting. They're in these conditions we do this, in these conditions we do this, and constantly adjusting for market conditions at the time. Like we just talked about here on Snow, 2 totally different styles of trading here. Fading breakouts or buying them, really, is what it boils down to, right? Where one of them's a range trader and one of them's a Weinstein stage 1 breakout idea. Totally different things that both work, that you could find success with both at different times. So, you know, I can't give you I don't have a single strategy that works on SPY or another ticker for a day or short-term options trading. Because options is a whole nother world, right? Like options, you have Greeks. So yeah, you may have a strategy that works great, but then when you go and apply that strategy to an options trade, that options trade doesn't care about the strategy, right? That options trade cares about all of the underlying things that are driving the price of that options contract at any given time. That's the Greeks. So, yeah, Rez, I'm sorry. That's too big of a question. There's too many factors involved. But I just gave you 2 that you can play around with. If you have a TrendSpider account, I just gave you 2 free ones that are both profitable, both work well on a name that everybody's talking about right now. All right, I'm going to check back in really quick on Tesla here. Looks like it's going to really boil down to that call, huh? Market wanted lower, but not really. So it's going to be all about this call. We got to wait. Any last minute questions before I get out of here? If you have any questions, hit me with them now. If not, then forever hold your peace until Friday. And I'll be back on Friday. Okay, so Ruz, check this out, Ruz. Click on that question mark icon and go to join our official Discord server. Join up in there. And, Ruz, sign up for our email list. Because like I said, I built these strategies for our email list. We haven't tweeted these strategies out. None of our subscribers really know they exist, except for the 33 people who are in this live stream right now. So you've got a little piece of alpha that we're going to share. You didn't learn anything from the strategies, Gary? Composites were the thing you learned. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. At least you learned something. That's all that matters. But yeah, so we share what you're looking for. It's not going to be Ruz. It's not going to be the SPY or the Qs every single time. We're going to do different things. Last week, I shared, let me give you guys this actually while I have it, while we're talking about it. This is a really cool strategy. Netflix and chill. Or rather, Netflix and chats. For anybody who is not familiar, this utilizes the chats indicator. This indicator was designed by a legend, Dr. Tushar Chandi. The man is brilliant. He's designed a bunch of indicators, a rune oscillator, and quite a few other ones. Anyway, chats is only available on TrendSpider. It's very, very similar to Go No Go. If anybody is familiar with Go No Go or you've used Go No Go, chats is kind of like a similar thing where it uses a suite of indicators and says if all of these indicators are doing this, then chats reads this way. The difference between chats and Go No Go, or one of the big differences, is that you can actually strategy test chats. You cannot strategy test Go No Go. And to me, that makes it wildly interesting. And I found this really sweet way of utilizing chats on Netflix. Here you go. Sweet. All right. So, Chris, that's interesting. That's good to know. You prefer it over go, no go. And really, the only reason I prefer it is because I can test it and I can scan for it. And that is really, really helpful to me. So I'm going to really quickly. What this strategy does. So this strategy beats buy and hold on Netflix over the past, 4 years by over 3x. One of my favorite things about this is that it completely avoids, completely avoided the whole move from the November highs down to the March 2022 lows. We caught a little trade here, and then we completely avoid this move. You did get stuck here, which is a bit of a bummer. But you're going to get stuck sometimes, you know? Like, the trade isn't always going to work. But generally speaking, your return here has been obviously quite better than the buy and hold scenario. And it's a really simple way of utilizing the indicator, too. Like, I'll show you what I did. Actually, let's use the lower. So what this looks for... On the entry side, it looks for 5 closes in a row above chat's reading of 55. So chats go 0 to 100. In the strongest trends, both strong uptrend and strong downtrend, it pins to 100. You can see it did it today. It just stays pinned. So do not read chats like RSI. The strongest trends, it gets pinned to that, what some people would call like an overbought or oversold level. It's not overbought or oversold. It's pinned because the trend is that strong. So that 50 level is just kind of like the median. Or I guess, you know what? I apologize. The 50 level is not the median. 0 is the median. It trades from 100 to negative 100. So we're looking essentially for like the median of the upper half. So above 0, you're generally more in bull territory. Below 0, you're generally more in bear territory. If you're above 55, then you're kind of closing in on this strongest trend area, which is 70 and above. So we're looking for 5 consecutive closes above 55. And then on the exit side, it's a 7 candle sequence, where we go from a 78 reading to a 74 reading to a 70 reading, and then we break down below that 70 reading. So the idea here was like a relatively swift move out of that really strong trend area. That's the idea. So long above 55 for 5 candles, and then we're getting out when we break down below the strong trend. And if we can stay above 55 for 5 more candles after that, we're gonna get back in. So it'll, you know, it doesn't necessarily require like some big dramatic move to the downside to re-trigger. It will re-trigger pretty quickly if it needs to. And this is an hourly strategy. So play around with that too. Pretty fun one. 52-week high to low, white rabbits. Oh, white rabbits. All right. So if you want to define... What was the thing? Because you were defining... Sorry. We're going to answer this last question, then we're going to get out of here. You're looking for within range of a 52-week low? Is that right? Rez, no problem. So all I'm doing here... Daily price close within range of weekly range low. We change the length of the range to 52. And I believe you said within 2%. Is that right? Tell me if I've got this idea right. And actually, let's do... Let's offset this. BG, HRL, KMB, AEE, PNW, EXC. Is this what you're looking for, my friend? We could even make this weekly. And if we don't, you may also want to define, again, like we did in that snow strategy, you may also want to define where price is relative to that low. So you might want to say weekly price close greater than. We're saying within range of, but maybe we want to say it's greater than, or we want to say less than. So we'll say indicator weekly range low 52 weeks offset by 1. So that's how you do it. Do you want me to share this with you, Mr. Rabbits? I got you, bro. There you go, my friend. I'm sorry that took me a minute to get to you. I apologize. Kind of slipped my mind momentarily. All right, I'm going to get out of here, y'all. It has been a pleasure hanging out with you this afternoon. For all of my Tesla longs out there, I wish you the best of luck on the call. It's going to be an interesting call. I can't wait to hear it. ANF finally starting a notable correction. Man, whew. That thing has been a monster. That thing has been a monster. I don't know. I mean, how can you short this? I don't know, Jackson. Well, White Rabbits, play around with that and let me know. If it works for you, great. If not, hit me up. You guys know my Twitter. Hit me up. No problem, Michael. Pleasure having you here. Gary, pleasure having you here as well, man. We'll see you soon. Y'all know my Twitter, Krutzky Trades. My DMs are open. Feel free to hit me up if you need me. We can talk about it. We can tune it up for whatever you're needing. But that's a basic idea, and we can modify if necessary. But yeah, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you guys. Again, Tesla Bulls, best of luck on the call. I'm going to be tuned into it. I'm anxious to see what he has to say myself. It's been awesome having you guys. This has been so much fun. You guys always make this so much fun for me. This one has been really fun though. So thank you for being here. If you're not yet a TrendSpider trader, what are you waiting for? There is, I'll give you guys one more little piece of secret alpha. Let me check this before I say this. I just want to make sure I want to make sure something's there before I tell you that it's there. Yep. There is a really killer discount code in the description of every office hours video. So if you're not yet a TrendSpider trader and you're interested in becoming one, there's a really killer discount waiting for you in the description of every office hours video. Follow the link and you will get a nice little hookup. All right, you guys, it's been so much fun. I'm going to try and come back on Friday. I make no guarantees. We'll have to see what Friday looks like, but I'm going to try and be back here on Friday. That time, I usually do in the mornings. So it'll be like 12-ish Eastern, or maybe even like 10 Eastern. I don't know. Keep an eye on our channel. Like and subscribe. The subscriptions really do help a lot. You know, like the more subscribers we get from these office hours, the more I'm allowed to do them. So I'm kind of counting on you guys. If you enjoy these office hours, you want to see them continue on, let your friends know. This is the place to be. Give me a like. Give me a subscribe to the channel. Keep on tuning in. Keep on asking questions. We'll get them. We'll keep on getting them answered for you. All right, guys. Take care. It's been a pleasure. Y'all have real lovely rest of your afternoon, evening, whatever it may be, whatever time it is. And we'll see y'all very soon. All right. Bye.